I'm going to tap in to the collective. I've already called in the guides who are here to assist with the collective that are of high integrity. And of course, like I said, Athena and both Athena and Hecate have been very prevalent with me today. And they were like, excuse me, we have something to share. So here we are. My lighting in here is terrible, but that's okay. All right. I'm not accepting any co-hosts at the moment. Thank you. All right, so I have my Moon Deck Oracle, and we're just going to tap in and see what the collective needs to know this week. This is going to be the theme, and then we'll get into some tarot cards and pull. We'll just figure out what they tell me. All right, so collective energy, what do we need to know for this week ahead? What is our overall theme for the week? Here we go. I trust the change unfolding in my life. I love this because obviously we're in a season of transitions. We're in Scorpio season. We got some deaths and rebirths happening. But the guides have been coming in very plainly and saying now is a time of faith. Now is the time to choose faith over fear. This is a chance to really tap into your own divinity and begin to really cultivate and hone in on the energies that you want to experience moving forward. A lot of us are closing out huge karmic cycles that have been really daunting. We'll use that word. They have been very daunting. And so now we're moving into a cycle where we can actually, I'm really drawn to these flowers. We are planting the seeds. For many of us, these seeds have been planted even going into our childhood years. So our inner child has done a lot of this work for us. And now we're just reconnecting with these seeds that have been planted and beginning to put our attention into them, beginning to cultivate them. And as we do so, the universe is matching that and saying, I see the energy and the work that you're putting into your divine path, your divine purpose. And we're going to just bolster that for you. And they're giving us a huge surge of energy. So let's pull some tarot cards. I'm using the Ostera Tarot. It's my absolute favorite. I have a couple decks that I enjoy or have enjoyed in the past. But this was the deck I learned on, and I continue to come back to it time and time again. So this is specifically energy of the week. Let's see what we got going on. Athena is saying that she's reached out to a couple of you. We have the Eight of Cups in reverse. And this is saying to me, like, okay, so a lot of you have been in this serious period of contemplation and reflection. You have been in a state of really narrowing in on what boundaries you need to place in order to focus your energy. And they're showing it to me as like a prism, like focusing it instead of allowing it to be spread out over many things, cutting out the things that don't truly serve you, cutting out the relationships that don't truly serve you so that you can shift and turn that into a focused intention. But she's saying that those of you who have been in this heavy shadow work period already are beginning to close that out. And so as we move through Scorpio season, yes, there's still going to be deeper elements to come into, but you've already done a lot of the heavy lifting. And so now it's just tying up loose ends. And here we have the Three of Coins, bringing in that community. I think a lot of us are really like, I'm specifically calling in that connection to community, calling in supportive communities, soul-aligned communities, not only community and support, but support that actually serves my highest good instead of detracts from my energy. I got the 10 of Coins. And it did present to me in the reverse, but these are all flipped upside down. So just hold on a second. We got the 6 of Coins, And then we also got temperance. Coming into balance, there is, okay, so a lot of you have resistance into receiving your financial blessings. But this is shifting. Like you, Athena specifically, is saying that you've put in a lot of work around your mindset, or at least you have been giving attention to it and taking note. So maybe you haven't fully like shifted these things, but you're starting to see and understand the ways that you have operated from the old paradigm, and you are beginning to shift this into ways that you can show up in the new paradigm that you are creating and cultivating. So it's almost, I don't know how to explain that. They're showing me like the slow turn. It's like a U-turn. They're showing me the slow U-turn, and you're in that process and you're about to go in the other direction. What did I tell you? Wheel of Fortune. Cutting ties to some of the, I feel like places may be significant. Cutting ties to places. Four of Cups. Because there is an offer coming in for you. Now, this is an offer that the universe has specifically designed for you. So there is not a chance of missing out, but there is a chance of delaying your blessings. And they're saying in this particular reading, they're saying turn your nose up to these cups that aren't aligned with your clear soul vision. A lot of us have that temptation to compromise, to say, well, this is 90% of what I've asked for, and maybe I need to keep doing work towards that. They're saying, no, no. There's Hecate. No. I'm not going to align myself to the 90% of my vision. I've asked for 100%. I want my vision to be recognized in its fullness, in its entirety. So there will be energies presenting to you to give you that opportunity to choose. Do not be fooled. 9 of Wands. Do not be fooled by misleading energies. And I have there, how do I want to say that? There is energy stepping forward to tempt, to deceive. And this is not particularly like nefarious. There's no like big spooky energies here. This is maybe even your shadow coming forward a little bit to say, well, we could sacrifice ourselves one more time. Nope. Nope. So hold firm to those boundaries, hold firm to those beliefs that you have been putting in over the past couple of months, because a lot of you have had big, big, big energy shifts. Strength. So now is the time to persevere. Now is the time to wield these beliefs by taking action on them. Does that make sense? Allow your values to be what is the deciding factor of your choices, the choices that you make. Bring me back to it. Okay, so they're saying that like these belief shifts and these values and things that you have come into place has been the armor that you've been putting on. And as you move through these next couple of weeks, to use the armor as a way to solidify them. So anytime that you're being tempted to go back into an old narrative, remember that you've put on the breastplate of truth. Remember that you have shielded your energy. Remember that these things that are coming in as temptations are outside of your energetic field, which means you are heavily protected and they are not allowed to enter your field unless you give them permission. And so they are sitting outside of the boundary asking you for your permission. The choice is yours. The Hecate is saying, don't you dare choose that, because we have put in too much work and we have come too far for you to go back into a karmic cycle. Heck no. Heck no. Use the strength of your spirit. What else do we need to know moving forward? Keep moving forward. This is a time of transition, and you will make it through unscathed by referring back into your spiritual practices. Hold on, what is that? Okay, many of you have been given energetic keys. And as you are shedding and releasing these old things that do not serve you, you are aligning with your highest path, but you will be tasked by your spirit, your higher self, your spirit guides that are serving your highest good. You will be tasked to unlock and access parts of yourself that you have not been able to. And the way they showed it to me earlier is that they have been, these access points have been within your being this whole time. But because you were afraid of them, because of some of these beliefs that you had to shift and change, you weren't confident enough to unlock these access points. But now it's almost like the key has literally appeared in your hand. And they're saying now is the time to trust your instincts in navigating your internal self. And as you go in, you will become to these, I'm seeing it as like a big door, but it may present to you differently. But this big door, and it is for you to unlock it. And inside is your spiritual gifts that you have hidden away in order to stay safe. It is time to come out of hiding. Four of Swords reversed. Time to come out of hiding. Earlier, Hecate was speaking to me about the witch wound and how this is a very much collective wound. So while many of us have our individual experiences of the of our time being persecuted for this aspect of the witch wound, it is very much collective. So as we are tending to our own inner selves in this regard and claiming our power and stepping forward in our truth and making decisions based on our intuition rather than what society has told us to do, we are clearing and clearing and clearing. And the more that we clear for ourselves, the easier it is for the collective to break out of this trance of the witch wound. The sun. We're coming into the light, and our because of your perseverance, the collective will benefit from being able to see collectively our strength, collectively our power. So the work you're doing now on the individual scale within the next month or two is going to begin to trickle into majorly collective scale. So even those that are not in the spiritual path, even those that are not are still disconnected, will be able to see some of these themes mirrored within their own path. Okay, so give us practical steps for the week ahead. What can we look for? What do we need to be aware of? Return to joy. This is a week of really celebrating your progress and how far you've come. So be aware of these things that we've mentioned in the reading before. But celebrate your progress. Celebrate this connection to yourself that you have cultivated. And really cultivate these relationships that are in alignment. So while we've set boundaries and cut out those who are not aligned, cultivate the relationships that do serve your highest good. There's something more to that. Many of you will initiate connections that in the past you would have scoffed at, is the word that they're using, but it seems like I have incense going, and apparently it's just really getting to me. Let me move it. Okay, so these relationships were not aligned with your past self, and so they're not people that you would have typically considered your crowd, but they are soul family beginning to introduce themselves. So this could be a like or a comment on TikTok, but new connections will begin to be made. And if you're aware of others that are more foundationally apparent to you, like you've already put in connection, foster those connections, because this will help you detach from anyone that does not serve your highest good. This is going to be a really big week of relationship transitions, of really clearing out the muck of, okay, in the past, with my family or within past relationships, within past friendships, I may have sacrificed myself in order to show up this way. I may have turned away from my truth or quieted myself, not spoken up authentically in order to validate somebody else's experience. But you no longer have to do that. By validating your own experience and showing up for yourself authentically, especially in relationship, you give that other person permission to do the same. And if they are not willing to do the same, so if you come out and you share your heart and you speak truthfully and authentically, a bid for that connection, and they reject you, that is divine intervention. Stop putting your energy there. That doesn't mean you have to cut them off. You can love them. Just put that little bit of energetic distance, saying, okay, I'm not going to feed into this person's energy when they are not seeing or hearing me. My goodness. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael to just go ahead and cleanse this energy and assist in transmuting it according to the highest good, because I do feel like there's some interference coming in. So for many of you, I feel many of you have the energetic practices of clearing your energy, putting that energetic boundary in place, but you haven't been doing it. They're calling you out. Now is not the time to be lazy with your energetic practices. So if you know how, do them daily, multiple times a day. I have been instructed to do it morning and night, and then if I feel funky, to just call in that assistance. Angels, guides, and etc. are here to help you, but they really want you to ask. And so I feel like a lot of us are just like, oh, I ask for assistance as it serves my highest good. And they're like, cool, but baby girl, what area do you want help in? So be specific. You cannot bug them too much. Ask for that assistance. If you need clarity, ask for the clarity. Let's get one more card, because I feel like this has been a lot about relationships and boundaries and energetic protection. Here we go. Ace of Coins. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. There's a lot of purples in this. And this feels like that gift that is coming up because of you standing in your truth and being willing to do the shadow work. This is a spiritual gift that will manifest in the physical, but it's going to present to you energetically first. And it feels almost like in the beginning when I was talking about source sending extra energy into your clear, defined manifestations, that prism effect. It's really grand is what I'm feeling. Like this is a collective shift. This is us moving into more of that community-focused energy, but you cannot function within community until you have come to appreciate yourself. There is, in the human world, it doesn't quite make sense, but they're saying like the community of self, like all of your aspects of self, your ego, your shadow, your soul, your higher self, like all of these different parts of you really coming to recognize their purpose and not shunning away from the gift that they have to offer you, but learning to work with them according to that like higher perspective, and that cultivating of wholeness within your own being is going to extend outward into the community and help us to really foster nurturing connections. But there is a spiritual gift, and it feels almost like a nugget, a little gold nugget that you can begin to really build and expand upon. Cool. Cool. Thank you guys. That's awesome. If anybody has specific questions, hello everyone that's just joining. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I may do a couple individual readings as I'm called. I have like 30 more minutes that I can hang out with you guys, so. All right, let me shuffle. And anybody that is not well versed in energetic protection, I do have a quick little guided meditation pinned on my page, so check that out. And there's more on my YouTube, but the one on my page is like 7 minutes, covers all of the energy clearing and protection from source. So that one's a quick, easy one. It is not my most eloquent. My voice is a little raspy, but it is solid energy work. So it'll give you some practice there. I want to clear the deck before I answer. Nicholas, I see your question.